Adelaide, South Australia, surely one of the most convenient cities in the world. There is so much to enjoy within easy reach of the city. Lush green parks and gardens, wineries, museums and more restaurants per head of population than any other city in Australia. Within half an hour of the city centre, you'll find Adelaide's wide sandy beaches, Glenelg, the landing place of South Australia's first colonists and starting place of Australia's premier historic motoring event, the Bay to Birdwood Run. Hello, I'm Noel O'Connor from Channel 10 in Adelaide, and I'd like to take this opportunity of giving you some of the background information behind this amazingly successful event. In 1979, a three-part committee was formed comprising the Federation of Vintage Car Clubs of South Australia, the Birdwood Mill, which today houses Australia's National Motor Museum collection, and thirdly, television station SAS Channel 10. South Australia plays a significant role in the worldwide interest of the motor vehicle restoration. For in 1934, when the Veteran Car Club of South Australia was formed, it became the second only club in the world to cater for historic motoring enthusiasts. As I said before, it's also home of the National Motor Museum, the Australian Grand Prix, and the Bay to Birdwood Run, clearly the most prestigious event of its kind in Australia today. In 1986, South Australia will celebrate its 150th anniversary of European colonisation, and when you turn 150, you're entitled to a little excitement, and we're inviting you to help us celebrate. Everything from a grand opening ceremony, international sporting events, beer and wine festivals, a very special festival of arts, and the Jubilee 150 Bay to Birdwood Run. Not just a rerun of the past three outings, but an international event planned to capture the spectacle of the historic motoring and the festive mood of our state. Until you've actually experienced this amazing day, either as an entrant or spectator, you'll never fully understand the feeling of what it's all about. Now, we hope that our coverage of the 1984 Bay to Birdwood Run will give you an insight into Australia's premier historic motoring event and the sheer enjoyment of participation.
Hang on, Sam.
On the 30th of August 1906, Dr. William Hargraves of Woodville was issued with the first driver's licence in Australia. So began our apparently never-ending love affair with the motor car. To commemorate that landmark event, the Bay to Birdwood Run was devised to be run every 2 years for veteran, vintage and classic vehicles built before December 31st, 1949. The first run was in 1980. The second in 1982 set a world record for a one-day event of 966 vehicles, and a figure to be well exceeded in the 1984 run.
What's all this? You're not going to bring all this stuff into my house.
I'm gonna build a bike, Beryl.
Over my dead body, you are.
Probably.
You'll never get it finished.
Don't know whether to take the Rolls or the Bentley. Yes, you're quite right. I will take the Rolls. Thank you. This one could be just what we're looking for. Vintage Packard, fair condition, reasonable offer. That's just around the corner, too. I say, would you make sure that James has the spark plugs on the Rolls changed?
Trevor, here it is. It's a bit old. I haven't driven it for a long time. Well, I hope it's what you're looking for.
Oh, it's coming on very well, isn't it?
Yeah.
The goose liver pate?
Oh, yes, the goose liver pate.
Would that be all, George?
Yes, thank you, Dolores, thank you. Hey, this chrome, you know, it's coming up quite well. I thought we'd probably have to have it redone. But the way we're going, we'll have it finished pretty soon. Oh, dear, I hope this second coat dries in time. Dolores, do chill some of that mineral water, won't you? Remember, we have an early start tomorrow morning. Yeah, now, up to you.
And so they headed for the bay. From first light, vehicles of every possible size, shape and construction began gathering at South Australia's most famous beachside suburb. Two wheels, three wheels or four, it didn't matter. There was a common bond of preserving our motoring history and just having a good time. The Bay to Birdwood is more than just a run. It's a living art form as everyone taking part captures the mood of a bygone era.
14 years after walking on the moon, we've driven 4,000 kilometers on the sun. When Hans Thelstrup and Larry Perkins drove the BP Solar Trek vehicle from Perth to Sydney, they became the first people ever to cross a continent entirely on energy generated from the sun. By undertaking this historic venture, BP Australia has successfully brought this country one step closer to harnessing and controlling solar power. It's just one more way that BP is quietly getting on with the job of developing Australia's many different energy resources. BP Australia, the quiet achiever.
There's a South Australia you know, and a South Australia you don't know. Like the Flinders Ranges. Enjoy the ancient, spectacular country any way you like. Perhaps a modern resort or an outback pub. To find the South Australia you don't know, visit your South Australian Travel Centre, the RACV or travel agent. Enjoy.
South Australia. Yes, I've met some very nice people, some very nice people.
The Bay to Birdwood is more than just a run. It's a living art form as everyone taking part captures the mood of a bygone era. Each vehicle reflects many, many hours of painstaking restoration. Near enough is never good enough for the enthusiast. But even then, things can go wrong.
Lunchtime yesterday, it was still in a million pieces. We threw a counterweight off the crankshaft and it did untold damage inside, but we're keeping our fingers crossed that we'll make the distance today. Just in the last month, we've changed the transmission. It's been in and out twice, which means the body comes off, the motor comes out, it all comes apart, so you just don't count the hours. Last time we had a 1913 Ford T, but the weather was a bit different then. We're hoping for a better one today. Coming home, it was pouring with rain and freezing cold, and Deb, in her very light dress-up gear, had the floorboards out, skirt, petticoat over the transmission and exhaust system, sitting there with a great cheesy grin as she got a little bit of warmth up from the motor.
It's fairly interesting.
It is. I'm just about finished it too.
You dressed to fit the part today?
Yeah, I hope so.
Are you driving? Mm-hmm. What era is your car?
1948, Morris 8, Series E.
And you're not that old?
Yes, I'm older than the car, actually.